We are officially live. Hey, everybody. So good to see you as always. Andrew here, otherwise known as the guy who wrote the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. Anyone learning about me for the first time, if you want to check this book out, you could very easily go to andrewcap.com and it'll give you some Amazon links so you can go to the listing and check it out. It's available in audiobook, Kindle, paperback, hardcover. It's got thousands of 5 stars on Amazon and Audible, sold over 100,000 copies. So thank you to everyone who's bought those copies, and welcome to everyone who's just meeting me here. I'm hoping for a really fun and useful live tonight. And if I remember right, I made the title attract more and work less. That one sounds a little bit better than attract less and work more, right? And the whole point of why I put that down, we'll get to in a second, but I just want to say, I've been really grateful to everybody for the past couple of weeks as I've re-engaged with YouTube and made this decision to start offering a lot more value, or hopefully offering a lot more value. Z-Pause here. Thank you so much. Thank you for kicking us off on a very high note there. I really, really appreciate that. Um, yeah, we got a lot going on. I have at least two methods I'm going to teach you tonight, and hopefully, maybe I'll answer at least one or two more questions. And we're just going to see where we go tonight. And, just as a heads up, I'm not sure how many more lives I'm doing this week. I can confirm Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm definitely going to be doing one. Between now and then, I'm not sure. It's honestly, it's been a crazy week. That's also kind of like what I'm going to talk to you about tonight, and where we're going to go with that. With that said, let's get to the value here. I want to begin with something I noticed over the weekend, and it was very out of the blue. I was busy doing my autumn manifesting experience. That, if anyone caught that, I think that was on the Saturday. And on my YouTube feed, I don't even know if I'm subscribed. I know I've seen a couple of his videos here and there, but I saw a video pop up from Mr. Beast. And anybody that's familiar with YouTube, anyone that tries to make it in YouTube, they know who he is, because he's basically got at this point on its primary channel, he's got more after the primary channel, but he's 143 million subscribers, which is just mind-boggling. And the video that kind of popped up, apparently 10 years ago, when he was only 17 years old, he recorded a video and he uploaded it to his YouTube channel, and he scheduled it. He scheduled it to go live 10 years exactly in the future. And he had no idea where he was going to be in his life. But it's really interesting because here we've got this guy who's got hundreds, not just millions, hundreds of millions of subscribers. Incredible success for his channel. I can't think of another channel that has more success than his. And you look at this video that he uploaded 10 years ago as this kid who was he was skimping out on studying for a history test and recording this video instead. And he was trying to like give a message to himself from the future, saying like, "Hey, me from the future, I really hope that things work out. I need to get 1 million subscribers by 10 years in the future. If I don't have 1 million subscribers, then my life is a failure. It's a complete and utter failure." And it's just so interesting the way he's like talking hopefully, and he's got this doubt and he doesn't know where he's going. Like his goal was 1 million, and here he's got 443 million now. And it's just so interesting to see because it takes on certain layers. It takes on the layer of, what if you had recorded a message to yourself from 10 years ago? Would you have had all your goals? Would you have surpassed them? Would you be disappointed? Like, what would it feel like? What would it be like to have a video pop up out of the blue of a version of you from 10 years ago speaking to you with wishes and hopes for where you're going to be, where they're going to be in their life at that point? And, this is the kind of thing where people can tend to be blown away and disappointed at the same time, depending on the area of their life, depending on the context. I kind of look back on my life, even just the past 20 years, and the person I am is still the same, but by that same token, I've shifted in ways, and I've changed just the way I carry myself and the way I interact with people. That I mean, it'd be interesting to be in the same room with that younger version of me. He would probably get on my nerves a little bit. But then again, I might get on his nerves a little bit. It'd be very interesting for our personalities to clash. But I would say this, the me from 7 years ago, if he recorded a video and he said, "Hey, I'm working on this thing. and I'm gonna launch it in about a month. I'm gonna launch this thing in about a month, and I wonder if it's gonna reach anybody. I wonder if it's gonna help anybody. I wonder if it's gonna connect with anybody. I wonder if it's gonna serve people. Is it gonna sell just like 20 copies and be forgotten, or is it gonna do more? And that version of me, if I told him like it would have been 150,000 copies sold already, and it could have been more, but I also chose to relax and do some other things. If I told him that, he would be blown away. And it's so interesting. Life kind of takes all these different turns. You never know where you're going. You never know how things are going to play out. But it was really cool to see this person, this video pop up, and then he did a later reaction to it. He's actually watching himself, and you're watching him watch himself, kind of see this younger version of himself. It's like really interesting. But this kind of goes to the, attract more, work less bit, because, Mr. Beast, he has hundreds of millions of subscribers. And people might ask, like, is he working hard? And from my viewpoint, I don't know him personally, but I would say he is and he isn't. And what I mean by that is the work that he's put in and the work that he continues to put in that obviously drives him, that he pours his blood, his sweat, his tears, his all of his energy into this channel and into this process for himself. And someone can say like he's really working hard, and he is, but by that same token, he's not working in the sense that he loves it. Like, today and for the past couple of weeks, I've been working on something that I'm waiting for like a final decision before like I officially like move forward on it. But I've been working on something for you. And I've been pouring so many hours and so much work. And it's a thing where like sometimes it's tiring, but it's not hard work, and like I'm not like resenting the process. However, I am like, looking up from my computer and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's 3 p.m. already. Oh my god, it's 5 p.m. already. Like where did the time go? Like what happened?" Because I'm so in the middle of engaging and doing this process. And I say that because a lot of people, they want to manifest, retirement, they want to manifest not working, they want to manifest not doing anything. And it's a slippery slope in that, there's retirement from worry and there's retirement from activity, and there might be a piece of yourself that could be in conflict with retirement from activity because you don't want to just stagnate. I mean, obviously you want to be able to quit your job if it's not the job of your dreams and things like that, but you're going to want to, even after that, you're going to want to engage in the world. You're still going to want to, I hope, ideally serve people. It's going to light you up, it's going to fill you up. So what I'm saying here is, as you go down the road of your manifestations and as you move towards what you want, just keep in mind that if it ever seems like there are long hours, it's not necessarily a bad sign. It's not necessarily an indicator that you're not doing what you're supposed to, that you're not on the right track. It might be an indicator of what you have in the future, only you're just going to be more fulfilled. So again, you know best for you. You know whether you really want to devote hours and things of that nature. But again, I'd say this: I've been very fulfilled these past couple of weeks, pouring myself into a process, which again, since I haven't made the final decision to move forward with it, I mean, I'm going to very soon, one way or another. But since I haven't made that final decision, I'm technically just throwing all this energy and this time and this focus into something that may or may not even bear fruit. It may not even be a thing. And I don't care because the work is worth it, the result is worth it, the outcome is worth it, the journey in and of itself is worth it. And this is the kind of thing I would like to invite and advise you to kind of lean into for yourself, wherever you are in your life, wherever you are in terms of how you fill your days, whether it's a job or it's a business, whether you're on the cusp of doing something, whether you feel far off, whatever it might be. Um, to whatever measure you can, even in the midst of having to pay bills or anything else, make sure that, in your free time, you're balancing health, you're balancing relaxation and ease, but you're also throwing in a level of something where, yeah, you're committing time and energy and you're really leaning in and you're really pouring yourself into it, into something that you enjoy, because that's the kind of thing that it becomes, in my opinion, a healthy, positive habit as you lean into it. Um, with that in mind, I want to teach you a method, and it was kind of like inspired by this thing with Mr. Beast, but by the same token, it was also even before I saw the video, as I've been engaging with YouTube more and doing this, I noticed my own subscriber count is raising fast. And someone had texted me like, "Hey, Andrew, like, how long are you going to keep this up? Are you like back? Are you really doing this?" And I'm like 6,500 subscribers right now. Obviously, not like in many ways it's huge. I mean, that's 6,500 souls that care enough to click the subscribe button and want to see me. But by the same token, when you're talking about comparing it to Mr. Beast, obviously it's not retirement money or anything like that. It's just it's a fulfilling thing. But when he asked me like, "Am I going to keep doing it?" I said, "Well, now that I'm like back into this, and now that I've kind of revved up the engines, like I want to do 10K subscribers, and then I'll probably want to push it to 20. And by then, I'll probably want to keep going, unless for some reason it's not fulfilling to me." But I'm like in that mode now. And as I said, like I want to go to 10K first. This kind of idea pops into my mind because I'm going for 10K subscribers. But what of the people who don't care about having a YouTube channel, and they don't need subscribers? But I have this concept in my mind of the 10,000 follower method. And I won't really do a guided version here. I guess probably not. But I really would the way the method works is you're gonna kind of like envision like for you a silent hidden army of 10,000 followers who are basically supporting you. They're rooting for you. They're cheering for you. They're supporting you. They're engaging energetically and physically in processes for you in service to the manifestations that you want to enjoy and that you want to achieve. So this for you, for your own at your own time, your own you know what? Screw it. Let's do it right now. We're here. I'm here. Let me guide you through this. So the 10,000 follower method. If you could, or if you want to, rather, I want to invite you to sit back, relax, get comfortable, close your eyes, and just take a nice, calm, deep, easy, steady breath. And then just exhale and let that breath out. Z-Pause picturing a sold out concert venue crowd, all there to hype them. Okay, oh, cool. All there to hype you up. All right, so take another in breath. And as you breathe in this time, just, visualize, see white and golden, vibrant streams and streaks of life entering your body from the brightest star in the galaxy and imbuing you with ease, imbuing you with joy, imbuing you with abundance, imbuing you with support. And as you exhale and you let that breath out, share that light. Imagine the light almost transforming into glitter that's just fizzling out and spreading out into the world around you, reaching everybody else, gifting everyone else with abundance and joy and ease and love. Because you have so much, you don't have to hoard this for yourself. There is so much abundance of this energy. There's plenty for you and everybody else in the world. And as you keep breathing in with every in breath, see that golden white light, those streaks just going and permeating your whole body, filling you up, restoring your vitality, restoring your patience and your determination, your tenacity, your resilience, your stillness, your ability to cope, your ability to appreciate, your ability to truly be you and enjoy that and be grateful for that. And keep exhaling as you do that with every exhale. Just send that light out to everybody else so that they can receive the same gift. And as you keep breathing in now, and you start noticing once again these streams of light getting more and more vibrant, I want you to notice that all of the light, it's not all coming from that huge star in a galaxy. There's 10,000 separate streaks coming from 10,000 individuals, almost angels on your shoulder, from all over the world and all over the galaxy, imbuing you with their support, their appreciation, holding you up, sharing their abundance, and magnetizing your vibrational frequency for more abundance, for more money, for more health, for lasting deeper relationships, for more joy and laughter, for better moments of just peace and tranquility, for better memories with friends and family, for better successes in your job or business, pay raises, promotions, celebrations, achievements, all of these different sources, 10,000 strong, or maybe even more if you detect it. There may be even more than 10,000 of these followers, but they are just shining their light, sharing their light with you, almost to the level that you were just sharing your light with the world, only theirs is on an order of magnitude of 10,000 itself. Each of these 10,000 people sharing that light and that energy with you at a power of 10,000. It's 10,000 times 10,000 times 10,000, just pouring over you, filling you with abundance, literally shifting and transforming your vibration and shifting your frequency to explode in openness for all the things that you want, for all the things you've ever wished for, and for all the ways in which they can come, and for the perfect timing for when they're going to come. Imagine these 10,000 people, these 10,000 souls, these 10,000 supporters and followers. They're subscribers too. They're subscribers to your success. They hit that subscribe button a long time ago, and they are here for the whole ride. They are not tuning out. They are not giving up. They are not disengaging. They are here for you. With every in breath, receive that energy and that support. With every out breath, share that with the world around you and in returning gratitude to these 10,000 followers. And understand they're sharing energy with you right now, but they do more in the background. They move things around for you. They make things easier. They maneuver things in a way that's favorable for you. They whisper in that connection's ear, that person that you're waiting to hear from. They nudge that person that you need to call back from. They convince that person silently to support you. They are there for you, facilitating in their own way all the abundance that you could ever wish for, financially, relationally, through your health, through your vitality, through your ease. Take all this in, appreciate it, and understand you are not responsible for feeling this any more profoundly than you're supposed to, any more than you need to. This can be invigorating or it could be subtle. It could be over the top or it could be a whisper. All you need to do is just to be willing to receive this, and you're doing your part, and you've done your part. So keep breathing in, keep taking this in, keep appreciating this from your 10,000 followers, your 10,000 supporters, your army of 10,000. And now just let yourself kind of rise up from out of this. Open your eyes if they're not already open. Take a few deep breaths. Relax. Recognize that your chest might be buzzing a little bit, your solar plexus, or it might not. You might feel some tingling sensation in your hands or fingers, your toes or feet, or you might not. Everyone's different. Everyone perceives energy differently. Everyone experiences this differently. Everybody manifests and invites and attracts differently. The way by which you do this is as unique as your personality. Thank you, Owen and Christine. Thank you both. This is what it means to manifest. However, this just felt for you, this is what it means. This is what I mean when I say attract more, work less. Because there is inspired action. There are tasks to do. There are things within your control that you either know to do right now or you will know to do. And that's going to be your part of it. But there's also that part that's not within your control, the part that you could never physically do, that's being handled for you by virtue of your willingness to accept and embrace that help. Z Paul, you are. You are awesome. How's everyone else doing? We got a few enthusiastic people in the chat, and some of you maybe like don't want to lift your arms up and start chatting because you're in that moment. And don't let me lull you or knock you out of that mode or that zone if you're in there. But if you're not in the zone already and you're up and about and moving, throw in the chat. And anybody watching this after the fact, throw in the comments below, like what this experience was like for you. How did this feel? What kind of impression did this make? Because by commenting on it, by having a certain commentary and a remark on it, you are reinforcing the energy just through that. Do that for yourself. Pamela says, love the relaxing breathing. Abigail says, I feel amazing. The chills won't stop. So grateful. Thank you. Thank you, Abigail. This is it. And by the way, I'm really happy to be here on these lives and to do this with you. And, if it seems like you like it, so guess I'm gonna keep doing it, but you don't need me. Like, you can do this on your own whenever you wish. These are choices that you can make for yourself. For me, what I'm doing here is I'm almost scheduling this for you by being here to do this and facilitate. So it's kind of like watching a TV show, like watching a live sports game. You're much more likely to watch it live than like after the fact, and I appreciate that. You're much more likely to observe it when it's been scheduled versus like just picking it up on your own at a separate time. I get the nature of that. I get the vibe of that. So, I'm glad to do this and to be like a reason for this. But, you can do this on your own. And it doesn't matter what time of day. You can do this morning, noon, night, before you sleep, after you get up, like whatever is convenient for you. Stana's talking about feeling of freedom. Milana says, it's a great reminder that the universe has my back always. D says, I was already thinking that my heavenly hosts of angels were the 10K checking me on. So this felt beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Like, this is cool. By the way, when you're typing in the chat or you're commenting below, this is a version of scripting. These are making imprints on your mind and through your mind on your vibration and through your vibration, your frequency, and through your frequency, your impact and influence and cooperation in harmony with the universe and what it wants to bring you. And for a while, I never appreciated that. I never understood the value of a commentary and how that can be powerful. But I noticed it, in experiments with friends where we would send each other messages and just replying to a text and saying giving feedback, any kind of, it could be honest feedback, it could be over the top, whatever. But just by giving that feedback, it was reinforcing the experience that I just had. It's really powerful stuff. Speaking of which, I got a message, and this was in response to the three of me method, which I've taught already before. I encourage people to check out the past couple of lives where I dove into it, the quick version of it, and I'm going to do like a formal video that's going to be standalone so people can watch it because I've really like the three of me method has been like this. I just came up with it on the fly out of the blue. And it really hit me how profound of an impact it can make and how easy it is. And it really it helps you, it puts you in a certain level of communion with yourself. And the short version, this is not doing it justice. Do not take instruction from what I'm about to say. But basically, the three of me method is where you visualize a prior version of yourself who is doing all the heavy lifting and all the work to get you the things that you have now. They could be financially, it could be in terms of relationships, whatever. You picture yourself with your hand on their shoulder, thanking them in true, genuine gratitude. And simultaneously, you feel a hand on your shoulder from the future version of yourself for all the things you're doing today to give them the manifestations and the life that they want. And in response to teaching that a few times, I got a message that said, from Pam saying, looking for a bit of insight on using the three of me method. When we go to the person that we used to be years before using this law of attraction stuff, what do we focus on? For example, that we were clueless walking around, or that we just started on the law of attraction methods and we didn't have what we wanted yet. And basically, like what I'm getting on that is like, I think Pam was kind of asking in the context of like, is this a version of a person who was like learning the methods or didn't know law of attraction yet, or it could just be like a random past version of ourselves that has nothing to do with that? And in response, the message I wrote back, I said, hi Pam, good news. Like all the methods, there really aren't any limits or requirements here. So any visualization that brings positive emotion through an earlier version of you is all that you need. But let me add this extra bit in hopes that it really clicks. It technically doesn't matter whether the earlier version knows about the law of attraction yet. What does matter is that this person is in the process or is about to begin the process of engaging in thought or behavior or action that will lead to something or more than one thing that you enjoy in your life. For example, I know Pam does sales. I said, for example, you didn't always know sales. Thank the version of you who worked so hard to learn how to do sales to the point that it's now a skill for you. If you can add in a version who was learning about the law of attraction at the same time, that might feel even better to you since it's so close to what you're doing here. But either way is fine. And again, wherever, whenever, whoever this earlier version of you is, in any topic, she's going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting that got you to enjoying something in your present. Your gratitude for this person is vital for when you visualize the future you thanking you in the present in the same way. That was my clarification, and I'm hoping that that's useful to everybody. What do we got here? Um, Gina said, "You got my back. You got me back into my manifesting journey. I really enjoy your ways, and I'm very grateful. I recently just finished last law of attraction book you'll ever need to read, and have been doing my lifetime homework. Awesome." Zeepaw says, "Think of you as the butterfly thanking the caterpillar." Oh, very cool. Okay. Think of you as the butterfly thanking the caterpillar, whether the butterfly is your current self, future self, or both. So that's a cool, interesting little spin on that, where you get that on that visualization, that imagery of the caterpillar in the cocoon, the butterfly, the evolution of who you are, how you're evolving from different versions of yourself, and you're blossoming into the type of person who has a better, more enjoyable, more life filled with more happiness and gratitude and joy. So that was an email that came in. By the way, sometimes emails come in and I'll quickly reply. Sometimes they come in like this and they're very relevant to everybody. So I do it on the lives. And like I said before, I've been having difficulty a little bit keeping up with people, but please keep emailing me. Don't let my complaints, we'll call them complaints, don't let my commentary on the fact that I'm having trouble keeping up stop you from reaching out to me, because if you have a question, if you need a clarification, if something hasn't clicked and it needs to make sense, the worst thing you can do is send me an email and you get a late reply. But like, I'm gonna find ways. Like, I got a bunch of a bunch of questions from people, and I just reply to them. I'm like, yeah, I'll just answer it in a live this week, and then I answer for them. And when I do, I reply to them. I'm like, hey, just so you know, it's in this live. Go check it out. Whether I reply back via email or whether I reply back in a live, obviously anyone that's watching this can tell I'm very cognizant of privacy. So I'm very careful about revealing intimate details if people put that in a letter. And if they do, and I'm revealing anything close to it, I'm very careful about using a different name. Like, don't worry about me kind of putting you on blast on YouTube or anything like that. I'll use discretion, but I want people to feel welcome, that they can reach out to me and they can say, hey, Andrew, I got a question. And I'm still going to try to find a way to answer you. I'm still going to try to find a way to serve you. I never want to be that author who's just like, oh, I'm too busy to take care of my readers. It's just not me. What we got here? Abigail says, you've been the catalyst of the frequency for all of us. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you, Abigail. I really appreciate that. I really do. Um, quick little just commentary, and note here. Like, the past couple of weeks have been an interesting blur, but it's been really cool because when I started doing this, I didn't have any specific requirement over how the response is supposed to be. And I just want to thank everybody for how enthusiastic you've been, and just, reaffirming for me that I'm delivering value for you here, and giving you something good. With that in mind, I promised you more than one method, and I'm going to teach you another method here. And just because we're on the live together, I'm just going to do a guided version. I think there's value here. Why not, right? This is similar, by the way. Anyone that saw last week, I did the money manifesting Monday live, where last Monday's live, you should definitely check it out, was kind of like this workshop where I walked people through, I guided them through these methods all around financial abundance. Like, that was the whole thing. And I got like really solid feedback on it. And I leave all these up as replays so that no one has to miss out. So Check that out. But with that in mind, another method I'm going to guide you through here. And this past weekend on Saturday, I did this autumn manifesting experience where I was theming everything around autumn to kind of anchor it in and make things just a little bit more of an impression in these methods. I don't think I did the specific method I'm about to walk you through. If I did, I apologize. Basically, what's going on here is I wrote a note to myself with this method to kind of do it on the live, and I don't think I remembered to do it. But whatever. Either way, you're getting a guided little meditation method here. So once again, relax, close your eyes, take a few breaths. If you're so inspired, you can still begin breathing in those streams of white and golden light. You can still exhale and send those streams of light out into the world around you. But we're going to have a spin on it now. I want you to throw in a few shades of green and the shades of all the types of leaves and the colors they turn in autumn. All the yellows and the browns and the oranges, all the tans, all those colors. So, along with the white and golden light that you're breathing in, and this isn't coming from the brightest star in the galaxy this time. And maybe it's coming from your 10,000 followers if you see fit, but it's mostly coming from every single tree, every single bit of plant life in the entire planet. All these streams of white and gold and green and orange and brown and yellow and every other shade, red, every other shade of changing colors with leaves. You're just breathing in. This is all nourishing light. This is all feeding you. It's feeding your soul. It's feeding and nourishing your body. It's nourishing your mind. It's cleansing your emotions. It's returning you to communion with nature. It's grounding you in this place, in this moment, through the power and potency of the planet. Breathe in this light and share it out with everybody else. Really take this in. Really experience it. And as you're doing this, your eyes are hopefully closed. I want yourself to see yourself walking a nature path. It's off on the beaten path. There's a clear road. There's a road there. You know where to walk. You're surrounded by lush trees. In the season of autumn, there's still plenty of green leaves, but there's all these other colored leaves. As you look around at these trees, swaying in the light breeze, this cool, chilly breeze, this October breeze, you could almost see the trees acknowledging you and you're acknowledging them. They notice you and they're glad for the visitor. They're happy to have you there as you're walking through. And because they're at such a level of maturity in the season, they've left a lot of leaves in your path on the road. But these aren't just any leaves. These are leaves of abundance. And as you walk down this path, this road, surrounded by all these brilliant, vibrant trees with all these leaves, as you step on every single leaf, feel the energy that was left over in that leaf to nourish you. Each step on every leaf nourishes your body, it nourishes your mind, it nourishes your emotions. Each leaf that you step on and connect with is positively influencing your vibrational frequency because these leaves are vibrating at a frequency of abundance. These leaves are vibrating at a frequency of vitality. These leaves of abundance, they're vibrating at a frequency of everything you've ever wanted, of happiness, of fulfillment. And as you walk through and step on them and touch them, and as you allow them to, their frequency is imparting the same waves and the same motion onto your frequency. And all these different leaves and all these different colors, they're actually, as you walk through, notice that they're giving you abundance. They're gifting you abundance. They're helping you vibrate at a level of abundance in different areas of your life. The green leaves that are still green that you step on, or even olive, those are vibrating at a level of financial abundance. The red or the orange ones, that's for love, that's for relationships. All the other colors are for health, vitality. There's different colors that that resonate. The yellow ones for your job or your business, for your livelihood. Every leaf you step on, it's another boost and burst of abundance for you. It's another invitation and connection with the universe. It's another way by which you are becoming more of who you are, of who you want to be, and that you're engaging in such a way that you're inviting so much more happiness and abundance. You're vibrating at the highest of levels. You're vibrating at the frequency of the earth with all these leaves, all these trees on this gorgeous, smooth, comfortable road. This road that with every step grounds you deeper and deeper, as if you've got roots on the bottom of your feet that aren't quite stuck. They don't quite keep you from stepping forward, but they stick just a little bit because they're touching the ground on the earth and giving and creating a lovely exchange of energy for you. This is the fallen leaves of abundance method that you're doing right now. Just keep walking, keep going down that path, keep enjoying it. And at your convenience, when it feels right, you'll walk out of this path. You'll walk back into everyday life. You'll return to this live stream with me or this replay if you're watching it after the fact. You'll open your eyes. You'll start noticing your breath again. And hopefully, you'll be feeling a little bit more in tune with who you are and a little bit more connected to the abundance that's not only surrounding you, but that will keep coming to you at increasing frequencies with increasing ease. So just take your time now and come back. Thank you, Christine. Thanks, everyone. In the chat and in the comments, how's everyone doing? Let me know. D says, Andrew, is something wrong when it seems to take a long time to manifest something? What role should patience play in this focused work? Should you revisit your methods if it's taking years? Okay, so, wow, what a question. So, I want to be careful how I answer this because I don't, none of what I say is your fault. So, I want to make sure that's clear in case it's misconstrued by the way I say it. But if something feels like it's taking years, um, unless it's not right for you, and it's not for me to say that this is not right for you, unless there's a better thing that the universe has in store for you that you haven't lined up with yet, my guess would be that it's your focus and noticing that it's taking too long that's kind of contributing to taking too long. And I realize that could be a bit of a frustrating thing to hear because like, thanks, Andrew. What do I do with that? I'm noticing that this thing is not here. The thing that isn't here, I'm noticing that it's not here because I'm an observant person. And am I supposed to do that whole ignore it bit, like that all those law of attraction teachers say? To which I say no, because it's not really fair. It's not really fair to tell someone just to ignore this thing and just get on with your life. And by the way, you're welcome to give me the specific thing you're waiting for if you want me to try to cater it to you. Right now, I'm just doing a guess, and that's fine. So it's possible that the way I'm articulating this won't reach you in the same way without knowing the thing that you're waiting for. But if it were a car, if it were a house, if it were this thing that feels maybe big, the fact that it feels big is keeping it away to a certain extent, in that you're so aware, you're so hyper aware of it not being there. If it feels too big, if it feels if it feels like it's out of reach in some way, shape, or form, for me, what I do, and this is my favorite example because people are like, hey, Andrew's book, it sold 150,000 copies. I want to sell a million copies. And then after I sell a million, I want to sell 10 million. After that, I want to sell 100 million. Like, I want to go in that direction, right? And it's been 7 years. This thing is out for 7 years, and I haven't sold 1,000,000 copies yet. For me, it's like 100,000 copies is pretty exciting, though. 150,000 copies is pretty exciting. This is what I am doing with my life while I'm waiting for this thing. And again, I hope this is helpful. I hope it isn't like a sidestep. I have this recognition that there are things in my life that they could happen tomorrow. Like the 3 of me method that I talked about that I'm going to do a video for, and that money manifesting last week, the live, or something else, the manifestational math video. I have no idea when or if any of these videos might somehow, some way suddenly go viral. And before I know it, I go from 6,500 subscribers to like 200,000 subscribers. And before I know it, the algorithm is pushing me all over the place. And all of a sudden, sales start rolling in for this, which, by the way, people that are looking at bestseller lists notice this cool thing. They don't realize it's 6 or 7 years old and they start buying it. Like right now, I'm on pace. Like if it took 7 years for 150,000 copies to be sold, or six and a half, or is it only 6 years? It's only 6 years so far. It's not 7 years. We're 6 years. If it took 6 years to sell over 150,000 copies, do the math. How many years by that metric will it take for it to sell 1,000,000? A lot. But there is always a thing. There's always a path. There is always a way by which something can explode. And again, I don't have your specific example, and that's fine. Zeepaw's like, we'll be saying we knew him when he at we'll be saying we knew him at 150K. I love it. But I'm using this example because like I really want this, but while I'm waiting for this, I am not wasting my life. I'm not waking up with regret every single day. To whatever measure I can, I'm enjoying life. I am engaging in fulfilling relationships. I'm engaging with people. I'm not wasting these years, whether it's the house that I'm waiting for, the car that I'm waiting for, the love I'm waiting for, the book sales I'm waiting, whatever those things that you may be waiting for. I'm just very cognizant of I'm going to be enjoying my life plenty in the meantime. I'm going to remind myself that it can come all of a sudden, but I'm also going to be patient with myself and understanding, but also, a little real with myself in that my constant focus on this thing and awareness that it's not there, it could pull things back. So strategically, what I want to do is I want to soften this. I'm going to soften this by enjoying my life more. I'm going to soften it by remembering that it can happen in any way at any time and being okay with that and being open to that. I'm also going to try not to have a requirement or a fixed point of view on the way it's supposed to happen. You know, if I really want this to sell 1,000,000 copies, does it have to happen through a YouTube algorithm? Is it possible that I'm gonna go on, like, some big podcasts are gonna invite me, and all of a sudden that's gonna do it? Is it possible, like, some world famous person, maybe Taylor Swift is gonna read this one day, and she's gonna post about it on Instagram, and pff, one Taylor Swift post will take this to the moon, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how these things will happen, I'm not worried. Or maybe this guy goes viral, and this guy sells all those copies, and it says, Andrew Cap, author of the Last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. So people start buying that also. Like, I don't know. But again, like I would love to. There's an ego part of it. Like, cause like, well, there's two egos. There's like to get to tell people, oh, I sold 1,000,000 copies. Whatever. I'm kind of over that by now. But there is the ego point in like, wow, I've served 1,000,000 people. Like, that's a pretty cool thing, and that's a point of pride that I'm kinda, like, leaning in towards. So, this thing that I've been going for 6 years now, or a month shy of 6 years, so much so that I called it feels like 7 years, right? Hasn't happened yet. And I don't know, like, D, feel free to throw in the chat if my answer is serving you, if it's giving you insight, or if it's not doing anything. Feel free to let me know. But again, I just have a recognition that this things are gonna take a while. I have to kind of like detach my focus wherever I can. I have to engage my focus on gratitude and appreciation wherever I can, and just understand like life is not to be wasted in the meantime. It really isn't. And maybe the universe has something better for me. Maybe there's a reason that I don't like hasn't sold 1,000,000 copies. And again, come on, like how pompous to demand that, right? Like 150,000 is, I'll put it this way. I did research. I get to show you all my books tonight. I did research on this book that I wrote Before Just Feel Good, I wrote this in 2022, or I published it. Took a long time to write. Um, I learned in the process of writing 3 words I used to sell 100,000 books, that even published authors, like major books that are published, like, with the big publishing companies, the average they'll sell lifetime is, like, 2,000 to 5,000 copies. Now that seems like really small because all you hear about is all these books that are selling like millions of copies. That's like the 1%. You know what I mean? Of course you hear about that and you're like, "Well, Andrew, that's a lot of books that sell millions of copies." Like, there's a lot of books that get published. Most books by I'm independently published. Most books by a big time publisher, 2 to 5,000 lifetime. So for me to be even close to Fruscia, only 150,000 copies, like, it's ridiculous, right? But I do want a million, and I'll get there. It's fine. In the meantime, I'm happy to do these lives. I'm just riding the energy. I'm just doing this. That's where we're at with this. Anyway, that's my long-winded way of answering you and being a promotional type of person and using an excuse to talk about all about my books. But that's really that. Anyone else want to throw something in the chat in terms of a question? Feel free to get me while I'm like, I'm ready for you. I'm all warmed up. I'm good to go. But really, the lesson here of everything I'm saying through the methods that I walked you through this conversation, through all the other lives is, just feel good. That's all. Why did I write this guy? The message is just feel good. That's the whole thing. It really is. And I realize that that's easier said than done in certain situations pertaining to health, pertaining to money, pertaining to relationships, pertaining to life. I said in an earlier life is not easy. Application of these manifesting methods is because it's simple. So do the strategic thing, do the easy thing of engaging the methods to make not a perfect life, but a better one. To invite not a perfect life, but a better one. To not worry about a perfect life, but focus on a better one. Pam's asking, how and why did you get started with the law of attraction? So, 21 years ago or something, maybe 22, like long time ago, decades ago, right? When I was a young, struggling, up and coming entrepreneur, and I was looking for the secret, this before the secret came out. I was looking for the secret to happiness and success. And law of attraction, Pam, was just one of many modalities that I just found myself to. The first book, I don't know if I ever told this story on a live, and I hope this is entertaining and useful for people, by the way. This goes back to AOL Instant Messenger days. I was messaging with a friend of mine, Chris. To this day, he's still like one of my best friends. It's unbelievable. Um, and we live in different states. So like I knew him for like 4 years before I met him. It was that weird like meet your friend on the internet type of deal. It was back when meeting people on the internet was weird. But I remember I was AOL instant messaging with him and I was complaining about like my business and how things weren't working out. And he stopped me. He calls me Drew. He's like, "Drew, stop." I'm like, "What?" It's like, "I want you to stop. I want you to scroll up and I want you to read everything that you just wrote to me." So I scroll up and I start reading, and it's me just, whining and complaining and saying all these things that are bad in my life and how miserable I am. And it's like, dude, you gotta watch the way you talk yourself. You gotta watch the way you think. And he recommended this book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. I think that's the title. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. And he also recommended As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, if I'm not mistaken. He recommended those 2 books. And then, Law of Attraction and Momentum, I think within like a very short time, weeks or 1 or 2 months, someone told me about Think and Grow Rich. And I was like off to the races. And those things, what to say when you talk to yourself, Think and Grow Rich, those aren't, I wouldn't call them law of attraction. As a Man Thinketh, there could be an argument made for that. But you were asking Pam how I started. Like, I started down the road of positive thought, which put me in the road for law of attraction by engaging with those specific books. All thanks to my friend Chris, spot calling me on my nonsense and telling me that like showing me that I was programming myself for failure, and I was programming myself for misery, and him just showing me how to do that. And it's really cool because here's a cool thing, a little experiment that you might want to do with your life. Yeah, Milana, he's awesome. Um, Abigail says, "This is absolutely beautiful. I've gone from a state of fear to comfort and strength of knowing that abundance and all its glory is mine." Awesome. Here's a little thing you can do to yourself. Think about the most important things that have happened in your life, or the most important people, the most important connections, the most important realizations, most important events, whatever that might be. You may be able to trace these back to maybe one or two decisions in your life. And what I mean by that, here's the interesting thing. Um, During one of my recent lives, I wore a T-shirt that said "Live," and it was for this band Live, who was like they were a big deal in the '90s. Now no one really knows who they are, um, except like one or two people. They were this big deal. I loved their music. I thought they were great. Throwing Copper was an amazing album, right? Chris, my friend, loved Live, who I'd never met Chris. He loved Live. And Chris started and created a website, one of those cheesy old GeoCity websites, if anyone remembers that, devoted to Live. And because I was interested in Live and following their music, I was checking out websites about Live. And that's how I met Chris. And Chris told me about As a Man Thinketh and told me about what to say when you talk to yourself, which got me to the law of attraction, which got me through this whole path. So if you could call it a decision, me happening to enjoy the band Live was like this critical canon moment or canon decision in my life that got me all the way to this, all the way to this. Liking a band randomly, and the internet being the thing, and just discovering this website by this dude. I By the way, me and Chris, we were born a week apart. I had no idea he was my age. I didn't know anything. We were born like literally like 5 days apart, all because I liked the band. I wonder if you go back in your life for some innocuous decision or some random thing, some random choice meeting with somebody. I wonder if you can look at certain things in your life, a certain paradigm that you have, a way you view the world, the way you go about things. You can trace back to the seemingly silliest thing ever. It's really cool to think about. Anyway, that's a little experiment for you to just do. How we doing, everybody? Is everyone good? In the comments? Anyone that like Live? If you like Live, give me your favorite album. It's actually funny. Yesterday was the 26th anniversary of their album The Distance to Here, and because I'm, like, such a fan, I know that stuff. Like, I always know October 5th is when their 4th album came out. I always know all this crazy stuff. It's really funny. D is good. D, I hope by the way, D, I really do hope that my answer was good, but if it wasn't, you can always email me and say, "Hey, Andrew, here's a clarification," or "Here's an extra layer of detail." Like, I've got you. So you can always email me if my answer was not sufficient for you. But yeah, it's funny the things that we remember. It's funny the things that we do. And that's really it. So reminder, like this week, I I don't know how many YouTube videos I'm gonna be posting. Thank you, Pam. I hope you like that. Um, I'll tell you a secret. I don't have any edited like I have one that's like in the editing process. I don't have anything ready, but who knows what'll happen tomorrow. I don't know how many videos I'm publishing. I don't know how many lives I'm doing. I do know that I'm specifically planning to definitely go live Friday afternoon my time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm calling it the Manifest Friday Free for All. Manifest Friday Free for All. I'm just having fun with these names and seeing what happens. So you definitely, and I say this because again, I don't know how many times I'm going to email people about this stuff. Anyone that wants to show up, come to my YouTube channel, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, and we'll see what else happens. I'm trying to do more lives here. I'm dancing with the possibility of like a Monday, Friday, Saturday type of thing. I'm trying to get a feel for people like when they show up. And by the way, just so you know, Friday I'm doing 2 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock because last Friday more people showed up at 2 o'clock. So the powers with the people. You guys are deciding like when I'm showing up to do these lives. So just keep that in mind. Okay, cool. Well, that's it. Like We're about to hit 55 minutes here. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you to everybody who showed up. I really hope those 2 methods that I walked you through that may just become my content this week for my standard videos. I hope that served you. I hope that, it lit you up, and I will look forward to seeing you definitely on Friday, possibly before. Everyone take care. Have a great night.